gets revealed, every headline getting peeled, every rumor getting grilled. Hip-hop industry drama, every deal. If it's making noise, then you know I'm in the field. Smoke News TV. I sit back and wait on it, cause the truth always rises when the smoke starts clearing. Smoke News TV. We back in the building, breaking down the latest. Every story got layers, everybody got opinions. I'ma do the homework first, looking past the captions, digging deeper than the surface. Cause every viral headline don't determine what the truth is. Beef, contracts, albums, interviews. Making power moves, who's just chasing views? Some call it gossip, I call it research. Connecting every dot before I give my first words. If it's solid, I'ma say it. If it's weak, I'ma call it. If I catch somebody moving funny, that's nasty work. Flow Smoke News TV. We back in the Flow Smoke News TV. We back in the. No bias over here, I just call what I see. Whether legends or the rookies, everybody gets reviewed. Culture over clout, that's the code I live by. Every episode, another conversation amplified. So yo, if you're rocking with the movement, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel and hype your boy up. Every time the smoke rises, you already know where to pull up. Smoke News TV. We back in the building.
All right, we back in the building. We back in the building. Smash that like button while y'all coming in the building. Do me that favor. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video, most importantly. Share the video on all platforms. And yeah, we back in the building. Smash that hype button too. Y'all see the hype button with the 3 dots? Go to the 3 dots on the video. You'll see the hype button. Support the channel. We got the membership. Get your membership. Join Team Smoke, man. We got the super chat. Also support the channel tonight. We also got the Cash App and the banner. You can donate to the channel. Support the channel also. So we back in the building. Just give me a second. We back in the building. We back. Yeah, we got a lot going on. Go check my last video I just did also about BMF J-Bo. J-Bo out of pocket, man. I'm telling you. I did a video about that a couple hours ago. Go check that out if y'all got time. Yeah, man, we back. We back in the building, y'all. How y'all feeling tonight? Everybody feeling tonight? So we got the DA demanding a phone now. Okay, I see how you want it. We got the DA demanding a phone now. I mean, they want the phone. Bring the phone right away. They want the phone while they was out of state doing what they got to do to bring awareness to this and all this. You know, they doing what they got to do with Ben Crump. Nothing wrong with that. They bringing awareness to other cases too, so there's nothing wrong with that. But how dare y'all send a letter to them? Why they out of state doing that? Y'all know them people's out of state. Y'all know they out of state, and y'all gonna send a letter right away talking about y'all got 24 hours to bring the phone or whatever. Ben Crump, they on their neck. They said nah, y'all gotta wait. Y'all gotta wait. See, because the reason why they want to give the phone to y'all right away is because obviously they don't trust y'all. So what's going on here, they're going to meet up with the DA and everybody. It's going to be a meeting, and all of them together, meaning Nolan Wells' family, Ben Crump and them, and also the DA and the buddies and they part, whatever, they all going to be there as far as the attorneys and everything, and they're going to unlock the phone while everybody look at it. That's what Mama Love want. Mama Love don't want to get the phone to y'all by herself, because she feel like y'all gonna allegedly, and everything I say on this video is alleged. She feel like y'all gonna tamper the videos or tamper anything y'all see that connect to the buddies. So Mama Love is doing the right thing. Not for nothing. She's doing the right thing. She's doing the right thing. She's bringing her people there so y'all can all meet up and y'all can look at the phone together. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, they playing games, Ty. They definitely is. They playing games, man. He said because they was hoping that 30 days has lapsed there. That's a fact. Sweet 80 on Sweet 80. That's a fact. That's all they want. They don't trust them. I'm not handing my phone on to y'all, and none of us did. Nah, we ain't doing that. So we're gonna bring our independent people, and we all gonna sit at the table, and we're gonna go through these phones. That's there. Yeah, they're doing the right thing. I'm not leaving my phone with y'all either. Who the hell gonna do that? Let's start there. Come on, man. And the DA got the nerve, and they got the nerve to say, y'all got 24 hours. They're like, hold up, we out of state. We out here touring, trying to bring awareness. Y'all ain't doing nothing down there in Mississippi. Come on, man. They bugged out for that, man. Smash that like button while y'all coming in the building. Let's get this copyright out the way. Copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find it in my description. On my channel, everything that I speak on over here, absolutely for educational, entertainment purpose. Again, copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find it in my description on my channel. Everything that I speak on over here is absolutely for educational and entertainment purpose. The clips and the videos I play also owned by the original creators. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm trying to tell y'all, nasty work out here. They will try to erase the evidence from the phone. That's exactly why they don't trust him, Tiffany Mathis. Shout out to Tiffany. That's exactly why Mama Love said, nah, we had an agreement on July 15th that we all was going to meet. Y'all was going to be here. My attorney's going to be here. Me and my husband going to be there. Meaning Mama Love and her husband. And everybody else was going to be there. And they was going to open the phone together. So now y'all want to turn the tables, talking about y'all got 24 hours. They send a letter to their house. I mean, that shit is crazy. Knowing that these people are out of state, because you could clearly see on television they with Big Crump and them. They in Chicago, they all over the place. They in Atlanta. They bringing awareness to this. Y'all just getting mad because how much awareness is coming to this case. That's what's going on, and they out there traveling to state to state to state to state to state. They don't want that. They don't want that. They definitely don't want that. Speaking on the phone, there ain't nothing shady going on while they call a boy granddad first. That part. Shout out to Ghost, man. That part. The agreement was all three parties to examine the phone together. What happened to that? That's what I'm saying, Jay Good. The agreement was on July 15th. Oh, you know, I got Nancy Grace on deck and everything, nigga. You know how Nancy went into that. Yeah, Nancy went into that. We're going to get to Nancy. We're going to get to Auntie Nancy later. Yeah, we're going to get to Auntie Nancy too, because they had a date. They met up July 15th, and they said, we all going to sit down. We're going to meet together. Not me coming down there, here, take the phone. I got things to do. You thought Mama Love was going to do some shit like that? Make it make sense. You think she going to come down there? Yeah, here, take the phone. I got things to do, by the way. Let me know what's going to happen. Mama Love don't trust y'all. Nobody don't trust y'all. The first thing y'all said, it wasn't no foul play. Y'all didn't even do an exam on nobody yet. Oh, yeah, I think it wasn't a foul play. I think it just accidentally drowned. Come on, make it make sense, bro. Make it make sense. They have lied so damn much. This is sick, man. That's a fact, huh? What's going on, Connie? They know something is on that phone. That's why they want it so bad. That part, I think so too. You said we're on their necks. You already know Ben Crump sent a letter out this afternoon. That part isn't special because they tried to do the 24-hour thing. Ben Crump said, nah, I got to hold up. Let me send this little letter out, send that shit little FedEx style, nigga. We're gonna send that shit right away to y'all, nigga. Amazon style, nigga. And they got the letter right away. Now they got a date. I think they're gonna meet tomorrow. They're gonna meet between tomorrow to Friday. So by the end of this week, they're gonna meet up. Friday is the latest. So we should get on. Hopefully they do it tomorrow, to be honest. Cause not for nothing, man. They dragging this shit. They dragging it, man. Smash that like button. How many likes we got in the building? How many likes we got in the building, gang? Come on, we got 48 likes. Let's get up to 100 likes, man. Let's get close to 100. Let's get 50 likes. Get over 50. And hand over the autopsy. That fact. Let's get to the first clip, though, man. Shout out to Secret Sam. Oh, yeah. Also, we got the NAACP legal team joining this also. Ooh, we're going to get to that, too. Yeah, they ain't playing with these people. So now we got more power coming down to the legal team. They not playing with them, bro. They not playing with them. They is not playing with these people. Smash that like button, man, while y'all coming in the building.
Xavier Wells update, and the district attorney gave the family less than 2 days to turn in the phone. Now, here's something that they said about this. They said the family wants Nolan's phone examined right away with both parties in the room. All parties agreed on July 15th that we share the same goal, which is determining the circumstances surrounding Nolan's death. The family is ready to move forward on that goal this week. They go on to say, we are eager to comply with the agreement we entered on July 15th, which is a joint forensic examination of Nolan's phone conducted together with their experts, our experts, and possibly the FBI. Our experts are on standby. The family is ready. We have given the district attorney's office 4 days to choose from this week, and we will make ourselves available on 12 hours notice for any one of them. Now, people keep saying, oh, they're holding the phone. The family is holding the phone. No. They don't trust anybody with that phone, because if they just hand the phone over and there's somebody who is not having their best intentions, they could get rid of information possibly that is vital to this case. So they want to be there with their people at the same time, and maybe the FBI could finally get involved so they can both know what is on that phone so we can get to the bottom of this. But for all those people saying, oh, the family is withholding a phone, would you trust Mississippi? Because I sure don't, and the rest of the world sure doesn't. What do you guys think?
If the friends are telling the truth, it's not going to be hard. They may be telling the truth. We didn't delete anything. That may be true. So it's a digital investigation, and frankly, it's not hard to do. The friends, who I believe now are your friends, after your extensive interviews with them, may be completely exonerated on that. Now, my question to you is, you're stating that the friends, and I'm talking about the young man on the Triton.
I just want y'all to hear this because this guy over here, you know, Tatum, shout out to Tatum for doing the interviews with the buddies. He's saying that if Mama Love had any proof of anything on that phone, if Ben Crump and them had any proof, he's gonna rebuttal and say that. Won't you think that they would have said that in all these press conferences? I don't know. I'm gonna let y'all hear what he got to say though. Check this out.
Friends have handed over their phones.
Yes, ma'am. They've handed on their phones to the FBI voluntarily.
I find that very commendable, because do you know how hard it is to get people to hand over a phone? That's why you have to issue a search warrant or a ducus tecum. So they have handed over their phones voluntarily.
Yes, ma'am. According to the lawyer and according to what they told me, they said they handed over to the FBI voluntarily. And the sad part is that I wish that Nolan's phone could be evaluated, because there have been claims that had not been substantiated.
You know what's crazy, yo? They say they did hand their phones over, right? Who is we to say that these people ain't do something to the buddy's phone that approves something actually happened, meaning some type of crime or something? Because we can't trust them grabbing the buddy's phones. We don't know what they're doing with the buddy's phone. Not for nothing, it seems like they all work together, allegedly. That's why we need the feds to come down there. We need the big boys, the FBI's to come down there and handle their business. Because we don't know if the local law enforcement is connected to the buddies also, and they all in cahoots with each other. Like they might help the buddies out and delete shit off their phone. We don't know. So for them to be like, oh, we hand our phone over, that shit doesn't mean nothing, because we don't trust none of y'all down there. It's crazy. Let's continue. Let's hear what Tatum got to say.
And I believe that there have been claims that had not been substantiated, and I believe that the claims should have never gone out in the public unless they were substantiated, that there was a potential that things were deleted from his phone, which put these young boys in a bad position unnecessarily. It's not fair to say that you're throwing out that things were deleted, but obviously mom can't determine if they were deleted because she couldn't do a forensic investigation on the phone, so she really don't know. Which I'm not
Unless
knocking
she
her as her
looked in
baby.
the deleted file and found things.
Well, she within Nancy,
the deleted file and found things, and we don't know that.
And she would have told.
I agree with you. I
But
think
Nancy,
you
she
got
would have
me
told the
wrong. I think
world.
you got it bass backwards, Tatum. Nobody.
She would have told the
on her
world
story.
if she would have found. She would have told the world, Nancy, if she would have found certain things that were actually deleted. She would have come out. I'm sure Benjamin Crump would have come out, and I would commend her to come out and encourage her to. If she saw that a picture of Nolan was deleted, a text from Nolan was deleted specifically talking about or inferencing certain things. If any of those things had happened, I would guarantee it should be criminal if they would not turn that over to law enforcement, so law enforcement can evaluate the phone and see if there were individuals communicating or deleting communication, because that is a crime. We just seen that happen in Texas, where young boys, there's a young man that drowned, they go and delete stuff off his phone, throw his clothes in the water, and they were arrested for tampering with evidence. And so if there had been deletions on the phone, even if there hadn't been a determination that anyone had murdered Nolan, Tampa.
We can find out.
That's BS. Because at the end of the day, we can't trust them. Just because they got their phone don't mean they did the right thing with their phone. Why do you think you got more legal teams joining Nolan Wells and her family? Let's get to the new. Let's get to the new legal team that's joining Ben Crump of the NAACP legal team. They joined too now. They're not playing with these people. They're like, y'all want to send little 24 hours, little late little letters talking about demand a phone. Okay, so now we're gonna join them too. So since y'all want to play, so now we got the NAACP legal team joining Ben Crump and them, and they headed down to Mississippi this week to open that phone. And I hope y'all ain't do nothing to the buddy's phone to make they stuff look like they perfect and they good over there, allegedly. Come on, man. He said his dude is a setup artist. Yeah, you know what's crazy though? I'm not gonna lie, the questions that Tatum was asking them boys, because if y'all watch a lot of interviews, a lot of people will stop them instead of letting them talk. I hate people that do that. When they interview somebody, you gotta let them talk. Give them your question and then just let them run their mouth, let them talk, so they could give the answer. I hate when a lot of people that host people and they interview them, they give them a question and then they don't even give them the answer because you keep cutting them off. Oh yeah, but this. Tatum doesn't do that. That's the reason. Only thing that I like that he didn't do. He didn't cut them boys off. He let them boys run their mouth. Now, whatever else they edit out them videos, we don't know. I think a couple little things got edited out, but most of the videos he let them run their mouth. And when you run your mouth, you get a little bit too comfortable. More little information gonna come out, and we got a lot of information to unlock characters from Warren, because he didn't ask him about Bart and all that. Warren brought them kids up. So for people to be like, for them to be like, oh, we're gonna sue y'all people and this and that, and no, y'all gotta blame y'all friend. Y'all friend was the one that unlocked y'all. Nobody wasn't even thinking about y'all. He the one unlocked y'all. He started bringing names up and all that. And if it wasn't for Tatum not sitting there and just letting them talk, I give him that. That's the only thing I give him on that, and plus the interview, because I hate when people interrupt. When they interrupt the interview, the person they're interviewing, but you giving them a question, but you sitting there interrupting them. I hate that shit. Let them talk. Let them talk. And that's something we obviously got from the buddies. The buddies ran their mouth, they got too comfortable. Especially Jax. Jax got way too comfortable. And Warren, because Warren lied. Oh yeah, and we got Javon mother. Hold on, let me load this up. Actually, yeah, let me load this up. We got Javon mother. She actually responded to Warren and saying Warren lying his ass off. She said she spoke to Wyatt, not Warren. We're gonna get to that. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, man. Let's see what's going on with the NAACP legal team, because they joined the team now, so shit about to get funky now.
NAACP now joining the legal team investigating the death of 18-year-old Nolan Wells, adding its Office of General Counsel to a group that already includes civil rights attorney Ben Crump and the Reverend Al Sharpton. The NAACP says it's getting involved to push for, quote, truth and transparency. Wells was reported missing the night of July 4th after a boating trip with friends, and his body was found July 6th just off Horn Island. His cause of death still undetermined. Now, as questions grow, the family's lawyers say they're ready to immediately turn over Nolan's phone for a joint forensic search. They're asking Jackson, George County's District Attorney Angel Myers-Malcarath to pick a time between Tuesday and Friday. They've also asked for reconfirmation of the location for that. Both sides agreed back on July 15th to have their experts and possibly the FBI examine the phone together as the family presses for answers and accountability.
Now we got the NAACP legal team joining. It's about to get real funky because they ain't playing. They tired. They tired too. They like, yo, come out with the truth. What you hiding down there, man? Give us the autopsy. Give us them other parts. Give us the autopsy report. Y'all want the phone, but y'all still haven't given us the autopsy. What the hell going? Like, come on. Y'all think people dump? Like, how the hell you want the phone right away? But it been damn near a month and we still even get the autopsy report from Mississippi. Make it make sense. On the cause of death, what happened to Nolan? On their side, on their report. We still ain't received that information yet. But y'all want to force people 24 hours to demand the phone? Nah, y'all trying to tamp shit. Allegedly. That's what y'all trying to do. Y'all trying to tamp shit, man. That's what's going on here. Y'all trying to make that side look good. That's exactly what's going on. Yeah, they put that lady through all that shit. The only thing that lady made Mama Love want is the truth. And you know what's crazy? If the truth would have came out that this kid actually drowned and nobody didn't do nothing to him, and that's all she wants the truth. And then probably the second question is like, why he did? Who got in the water with him? Because if that come out saying that he drowned and nobody was around him, no, we don't see this kid just jumping in the water saying I'm about to go take a swim and then he never make it back. And nobody don't know he jumped in the goddamn water, make it make sense here. All y'all together, all y'all loopy. Y'all all hanging out. So if Nolan jumped in the water to go participate, they're gonna take a little swim, whatever. Y'all looking dead at him. Let's cut the Shanette. Somebody seen him. Come on, bro. And that's exactly what Mama Love wants. She just want the goddamn truth. That's it. Just like every other mother want. But she's getting backlashes, and I mean, she's getting criticized and all like that shit crazy, bro. Yeah, they unlock characters. Yeah, we call them unlocked characters, man. That's what we call them over here. Yo, let's get the Mama Love friend. Now, remember Javon mom? Remember when Warren, that last interview? We could go back to that too. Y'all want to? We bored, whatever. But we got to get to Nancy too. But Javon mother saying that Warren lied throughout that whole interview. Let's get to Javon mother because she actually responded to that interview Warren did when all of them was all three of them was sitting down. They was cooling and they laughing and giggling, a little bit of smirk going on and shit. A month later, after their best friend, so-called best friend brother died. And y'all up there smiling and yeah, you know, I mean, a little smirk and all this, man. Got me, I swear, listen, that shit got me mad as hell when I watched that interview. I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. Too much smiling, too much smirking going on, man. Let's get to Javon mother though. Let's get to Javon mother though. She actually responded to that shit. Peep this out.
Yeah, no, Wyatt did. I had never even been in the water. Yeah, no, Wyatt did. I never even really talked to Warren. The whole time I was in the house, I spoke with Wyatt. Wyatt is the one who had the phone that supposedly was in his truck or whoever. But Wyatt is who I talked to. I never talked to Warren. I'm not sure why Warren is doing that. But I turned the camera around directly on Wyatt and told my sister. Outside somewhere. They said it was in the truck. I'm not sure where it was at. It took them at least 15 minutes to bring me the phone. By this time, the boys will start, because Wyatt started getting jazzy at the mouth. So my son, Jalen, was like, hey, you better watch your tone. Like, don't get smart, my mama.
Right.
So Wyatt got a little slick with the mouth, and Javon, kind of calmed it down, talking about, yo, don't be talking like that to my mom. This is what she's saying. She said she really never spoke to Warren. Warren was up there acting like he spoke to Javon mom. But it was the whole time it was Wyatt. She said it was Wyatt. It wasn't Jax, it was Wyatt. And it wasn't Warren. There's a lot of mixed stories going on here. This shit is bugged out, bro. Let me play it back to the beginning.
Because we in the water. Yeah, no, Wyatt did. I never even really talked to Warren. The whole time I was in the house, I spoke with Wyatt. Wyatt is the one who had the phone that supposedly was in his truck or whoever. But Wyatt is who I talked to. I never talked to Warren. I'm not sure why Warren is doing that. But I turned the camera around directly on Wyatt and told.
She was on FaceTime, exactly, Tosh. When she said she turned the camera, that means she was on FaceTime with her sister. That part. Ty, you hit it right on the spot. And she got Wyatt face on her phone, I guess. That's why she said she never spoke to Warren. She spoke to Wyatt. According to her. I'm only going by what she's saying. This is Javon's mother right here. Allegedly. We're going to say alleged.
Sister. Outside somewhere. Never even been in the water. Yeah, no, Wyatt did. I never even really talked to Warren. The whole time I was in the house, I spoke with Wyatt. Wyatt is the one who had the phone that supposedly was in his truck or whoever. But Wyatt is who I talked to. I never talked to Warren. I'm not sure why Warren is doing that. But I turned the camera around directly on Wyatt and told my sister. Outside somewhere. They said it was in the truck. I'm not sure where it was at. It took them at least 15 minutes to bring me the phone. By this time, the boys will start, because Wyatt started getting jazzy at the mouth. So my son, Jalen, was like, hey, you better watch your tone. Like, don't get smart, my mama.
Right.
Because we trying to see what Nolan, because we trying to figure out why y'all see y'all ass up in here chilling and Nolan missing.
That part. And nobody ain't seen like that shit looked funny. They bone rushed Wyatt house, whoever house they came to get the goddamn phone. They chilling like John Mama Love friend said. She said, we went there. J- Javon and they little homies, you know, Nolan Black friends, they all hyped up. They like, yo, where the hell Nolan at? What's Nolan at? They in the house chilling, acting like they friend ain't missing. If I see that shit, I'm gonna react to and bug out. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, yo, how the hell y'all chilling? We over here hyped up, ready to go crazy in this whole town trying to find Nolan, and y'all over here chilling, watching a goddamn movie whatever the hell y'all was doing. And then Jax, remember when Jax said, yeah, you know, I took a nap and I came downstairs. Remember when Pop said Jack's hair was all messed up, like he took a nap. So now y'all napping and doing all this weird shit on the 4th of July. I don't know no college kids that take it down that early. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Every college kids I know, any little college campus I ride past on 4th of July, them niggas is lit. They outside. They outside. They ain't going to sleep at no 9, 10, 11 o'clock. No, they up all night. The reason why y'all was doing that, because y'all was trying to calm yourself down. Because y'all end up probably was somebody allegedly was telling y'all, we're going to handle this. Just keep it calm. And that's alleged. Because there's no way in the world how the hell y'all chilling in the house and Nolan and other friends and family are straight panicking going crazy. But that supposed to be y'all brother and friend? That's why Javon's mother was looking at y'all like, how the hell y'all here chilling like this? Y'all called us, talk about Nolan is missing. We coming down here to see what the hell is going on. And y'all here chilling? Come on, man. Smash that like button, support the channel, get your membership, man. Join Team Smoke, get the super chat, man. We got the Cash App and the banner also because this shit don't make no goddamn sense. If I would have walked in there and they chilling like that, I ain't gonna lie, man. I probably would have been swinging, man. Me, after I would have been swinging, the rest of the homies would have been swinging right behind me. Pause. But remember when Pop said he had to calm everybody down? Pop said, you know, I had to calm things down because, you know, the fellas was getting out of control when he came there, too. And when Javon and them came there with Mom, yeah, it was about to get ugly up in there. But lucky they didn't, because if they did, that shit would just cause more commotion. And then they would have been looking like the bad guys because they came to their property and beat them up over there. Lucky them boys ain't coming there and trashed them. Because now they would have looked bad on their side. Let's continue. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, man.
So where it was at, it took them out to Warren. I'm not sure why Warren is doing that, but I turned the camera around directly on Wyatt and told my sister. Outside somewhere. They said it was in the truck. I'm not sure where it was at. It took them at least 15 minutes to bring me the phone. By this time, the boys will start, because Wyatt started getting jazzy at the mouth. So my son Jalen was like, hey, you better watch your tone. Like, don't get smart, my mama.
Right.
Because we trying to see what Nolan, because we trying to figure out why y'all see y'all ass up in here chilling and Nolan missing. So that's when I asked again, where's the phone? She's gone. That's when he told me she was going to get it. I said, oh, she must have to go back to Horn Island truck outside. Now, mind you, we had to pass all the cars to walk in the house. It's just it's a bunch of lies. I don't feel the need to, like I said, when they go to mentioning Javon, I'm going to say and stand up behind mine every single time. As far as me and that nudge shit, I don't feel the need to explain anything to any of y'all.
That's Javon mom. She said she'll speak on her son, but on Nolan case, she ain't really got to explain because that case is obviously still investigated. So she don't want us to talk about it too much. Oh shit! I just blew the whole damn ashes over. Pardon me, gang. Hold up. God damn. Yeah, man. There ain't no way in the world I'm gonna pop up at somebody's crib, y'all. And these niggas is chilling, but they so-called brother is missing. That shit doesn't make no sense to me. But y'all in the house chilling like that. That's y'all brother. Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. But we got another response also. Y'all remember Jonetta? The lady, shout out to the sister that cracked that audio and made it more clear to everybody to hear. Well, she responded again also. Let's get to her right quick. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel.
I think it's hilarious how no matter how many facts I post surrounding this case, no matter how many videos I share of the adults involved speaking for themselves, and no matter how closely I stick to their own words, I'm still met with weightless threats, harassment, racist attacks, and passive-aggressive slugs about our gifts and goals. So let me clear something up again, and it's probably going to be my last time. I did not isolate that audio for clout, clicks, views, fame, or money. I had absolutely no idea it would go viral. I isolated the audio because I was concerned about what I thought I heard in the background of that call. And before I ever posted it, Ash and I discussed the possibility of confirmation bias because I'm fully aware that when you think you hear something, your brain can sometimes influence what you continue to hear.
That is true. You think you hear something, right? That should be stuck in your brain. On reality, you really don't even hear that shit though, but you think you hearing something. That's a fact right there. Let's continue with the sister though, man. Smash that like button.
I'm well aware of what I thought I heard in the background of that call. And before I ever posted it, Ash and I discussed the possibility of confirmation bias because I'm fully aware that when you think you hear something, your brain can sometimes influence what you continue to hear. I'm well aware of that. But that is exactly why I cleaned and isolated the audio to begin with, because I wanted clarity. I wanted to know if I was tripping. So when I got that clarity, I was shocked, like a lot of others who were shocked before I even did it. So I posted my interpretation of what I heard and asked everybody else to listen for themselves and come to their own conclusions. I didn't tell anybody what they had to hear. And to my surprise, tens of thousands of people said they already heard the same things before I ever isolated it. Then came the lies about me. People started claiming I created the audio, that I added 20 extra seconds somehow, that I manipulated it, that I used AI. I must have knew these people's voices and just added their voices and these names. I did not. I isolated the channels and removed the music from the caller side so the background noise, voices, and commotion could be heard more clearly. I did not use any AI or any AI-based product to do it. My entire purpose was to better hear what was already present in the audio and determine whether I thought I heard was actually there. That's it. Then came the cyber attacks, racist trolls, harassment, threats, people attempting to discredit me personally instead of actually addressing the actual questions surrounding this case. But on the flip side, there were people who genuinely wanted to support Ash and me. And then someone online actually created a GoFundMe on our behalf, and then that same night it was denied. And after people continued asking how they could support us, Ash created the Give Send Go. That is why it exists. It was not created to capitalize off of Nolan Wells or his family. It was literally created because people insisted on supporting us after seeing what we were dealing with. Our lives have changed drastically. Like, we've lost work opportunities and dealt with harassment and attacks because we continue asking questions.
Shout out to Harvey, man, for the $2 super chat, man. I appreciate that, champ. He said I love the content. Peace, Smooth. Peace, man. You already know, homie.
Seeking answers. So at this point, we also have to consider our personal safety and security. But one thing that has not changed, we want to know what happened to Nolan Wells. We want answers. We want justice for Nolan. So the threats, the intimidation, racism, scare tactics don't silence us. If anything, they strengthen our determination.
Man, come on. How the hell we got almost 300 people? We only got 100 and what? 118 likes. How y'all doing smoke like that? So we got people doing this. This what we doing. We just looking at the screen, huh? Man, smash that like button. What we doing, gang? Come on, we only got 118 likes. We got almost 300 people in the building. Let's get them likes up. Come on, man. Let's get them likes up, man. We got Javon mother over here spazzing out, talking about she never spoke to Warren. We got to get the Nancy Grace. She don't win in. Got some proof about this phone shit going on. It's a lot of bullshit going on right now, man. Come on, man. Smash that like button. We ain't done yet. Shit. We got J-Bo dumbass from BMF getting caught with 53 bricks. I always gel on no nigga, but god damn, you got to be the dumbest criminal, boy. Go check my last video I dropped a couple hours ago, man. Let's get them likes up, man. Come on, let's get 150 likes, man. Let's get 6-8 more likes in the game. Come on, gang. Like that shit up. Rest in peace to Nolan, man. Go get y'all now, man. Go get y'all a little drink, whatever. Pour some now, man. Go get y'all Henny. Go get that Patron. Get that coconut with pineapple. You know, that's my favorite. All right, man. We need 3 more likes. Come on, gang. So I want to turn over the phone. I won't turn over the phone either. You ain't gonna have me go down there. Yeah. Just take my son phone here. I'm gonna go ahead and handle my business here. Let me know what I got on my son phone. You think I'm really gonna go down there and do some weird shit like that? Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy, bro. Hey, people crazy, man. Think people just gonna go there and hand their phone like that. Come on, let's get a couple more likes. Get one more like, man. You see people hopping in, hopping out. You know how people do on here. Let's continue though. Smash that like button.
Nation to keep asking questions. So the threats, the intimidation, racism, scare tactics don't silence us. If anything, they strengthen our determination to keep asking questions and following the facts wherever they lead. We will not be intimidated into silence, period. And to every single person who has donated, supported us, defended us, shared information, or simply encouraged us to keep going, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you more than you know. But everybody else, I need y'all to understand something clearly. We are not giving up. Not today, not tomorrow, not anytime soon. So if our continued pursuit of answers bothers you, get used to it.
We have had multiple witnesses reach out to us, two confirmed witnesses that saw Nolan Wells on the island around 6 p.m. on July 4th, well after the Triton, as you said, left around 4:30. And so those witnesses have went to investigators.
Remember when they joined that panel and they talking about they got witnesses, some made up goddamn witnesses. If y'all had witnesses, the witnesses would have been came in the beginning of the story when it first happened. That part. We talking about hundreds and thousands of people on the island. We talking about hundreds of boats. We talking about a whole tight-knit community that goes to that island every year. And when you telling me y'all only got one or two goddamn witnesses, that's a goddamn lie, allegedly. Because how you only got one or two witnesses when you got hundreds of people out there? So only one or two people was on the island at 6 o'clock? Make it make sense. There was hundreds of people out there at 6 o'clock. Probably thousands of people still out there at 6 o'clock. But you only gonna say you got two witnesses. Man, cut the crap. Let's continue. Shout out to Auntie Nancy, man. Let's continue with this.
They've talked to the police, and they've done what they're supposed to do. These witnesses know Nolan. They've known him for a long time. They were able to make a positive ID. And they told that to investigators. They told them that from the very start.
What witnesses? Where? Who, what, where, why, and when? That is a renowned trial lawyer named Tyler Cox, and he is representing the acquaintances of Nolan's that took him to Horn Island on their boat, the Triton. Curious, we've seen, hey, let's pull up that video, control room, of everyone getting on the boat before they went to Horn Island. It's very interesting, evidentiarily. Okay, here we go. This was from the Officer Tatum show, and you're about to see people. There they are down at the right. And there's actual video of people see the boat at about 1 o'clock. Oh, there we go. Excellent shot, guys. People are getting on, people getting off. And it keeps going to where you see everybody that got on the boat. But here's my big question tonight, before I can even get to the alleged witnesses that Tyler Cox is telling us about. Dave Mack, joining me, Crime Stories investigative reporter. Can I see the video again, please? Dave Mack, I'm seeing everybody preparing the Triton to go out, preparing to go out. In this shot, they're down at about 3 o'clock. Okay, keep looking. 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then suddenly you switch to a different camera. There you go. That's the boat. So, Dave Mack, where is the evidence? Where is the video of the boat? Is that Nolan right there? Walking along the light blue shorts, and he at that time had on a white shirt. I think that's Nolan right there. Dave Mack, where is the evidence, the video evidence of them coming back?
Nancy, we have not seen evidence of them coming back. Remember, 3 boats caravanned out to the island, and then we have different stories about when they arrived back on the mainland. but we don't have video of any of
So we
them
don't
showing
have that
backup.
video.
Correct.
Okay, let's circle back to the alleged witnesses that he's a great trial lawyer, by the way. Wins a lot of cases. Is Tyler Cox. He's
And then we have different.
Where is the evidence, the video evidence of them coming back?
Nancy, we have not seen evidence of them coming back. Remember, 3 boats caravanned out to the island, and then we have different stories about when they arrived back on the mainland. But we don't have video of any of
So we
them
don't
showing
have
backup.
that video.
Correct.
Okay, let's circle back to the alleged witnesses that he's a great trial lawyer, by the way. Wins a lot of cases. Is Tyler Cox. He's representing the acquaintances that went to Horn Island with Nolan. I've got to get to the phone, Torpedo, but he's not the only one that says they have witnesses. Listen.
These 2 witnesses, 2 very reliable, very credible, and very upstanding members of the community, they saw Nolan, and they've known Nolan for years. There's no chance that they made a mistake. And by the way, this can be corroborated through other evidence, other eyewitness accounts. And that's the end of it right there.
That's from the Officer Tatum Show. Susan Hendricks joining me, veteran, investigative journalist, author of Down the Hill, My Descent into the Double Murder in Delphi. What witnesses? I understand that there's video and witnesses. One places him there at 5, one places him there at 6. Significance, the Triton, and we can show this by GPS. They are right about this, left Horn Island around 4:30. So if he is spotted, and you can confirm to me that he is spotted there at 5 or 6, if that video has a timestamp on it, and I can corroborate that, or I can corroborate the witnesses weren't drunk. Hey, let's see that video control room again of Nolan bent over, and all you can see is his blue trunk right there. Now, that's not a very good eyewitness right there, okay? Do I think that's him? Yeah, I do. I do think that's Nolan. But I would tear that up in court. Tear it to shreds.
Now, if you got Nancy Grace saying that she would tear this shit up in court with these so-called witness they got, because she's going off with the Cox. Remember the Cox, the lawyers paused? They saying they got 2 witnesses. They're going to try to bring this picture up. They're going to try to put a time on this picture that we seeing right now in front of our face. Nancy's saying, like, Melissa, you bring this to court, I'm going to tear that shit up. I'm going to rip y'all in part in court if you come to court with this weak-ass video right here with 2 witnesses. Shout out to Nancy Grace, man. Auntie know what she's talking about. They got to come with more with this. And if y'all don't got more evidence on how Nolan actually was found on that island unalive, come on, any prosecutor going to tear me up unless the prosecutor, y'all remember, this shit is, the court is probably going to happen in their district. So that's another thing. If I was Ben Crump and them, not for nothing, I'll take this whole court shit to a whole nother district. I don't want to have my on my trial or whatever I got going on downtown down there. Nah, we ain't doing that. We taking this shit to a whole nother state or a whole nother couple cities down. Because I don't think they're gonna get a fair game in that court, to be honest. If they keep it down there where this shit happen at. Come on, smash that like button. We got over 300 people in the building. Get your membership, join Team Smoke, share the video. Smash the like button. There's 3 dots in the video. Hype your boy up. You already know what's going on. We got a super chat. We got the Cash App. We got the Cash App in the banner. I mean, donate, help the channel, do what you do. I mean, pour that yak. Rest in peace to Nolan Wells. I mean, light up that Zai, and we're trying to find the truth out, man. For real. Let's get back to Auntie Nancy, though.
There's all right there, okay? Do I think that's him? Yeah, I do. I do think that's Nolan. But I would tear that up in court. Tear it to shreds. There's all sorts of, you know what? Hold on, Susan Hendricks. Greg Morse joining me, veteran trial lawyer, founder of Morse Legal. He's in the Southern District of Florida, former West Palm Beach public defender, and author of The Untested. Greg, in Florida, as in Georgia, as in this jurisdiction of Mississippi, the code, the official code of Mississippi, annotated, lays out how you establish or cross-examine, same thing, same criteria, an eyewitness, such as, I memorized them. How far were you away from the witness? I mean, from the
Sure.
target. What was the lighting? Do you wear glasses? Were you wearing them that night? Were you inebriated? Had you smoked pot? How can you prove that to me? Did anything obstruct your view? Was it daytime or nighttime? What time of the day was it? What were the conditions? You go on and on and on. I mean, you can rattle them off, right? I know you can. So how do
Absolutely.
I know the eyewitness can't identify anything except the back of his legs, like in that video?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, there's no details about any identification. It's just a broad statement that other people saw Nolan after the boat left. The video you just showed shows from a view from behind of someone bending over. Did the person have sunglasses on? Were they familiar with who they were actually looking at and identifying? You know, how much had they drank during the day? It was a party scene. That's what usually these boat spots are. There's one by me in West Palm Beach, very similar setup called Peanut Island. So most people also, right? They don't think something's important until after the fact. They're just going about their day, notice people walking by. So from what you showed, that's not a very strong identification from that position, but there's no details.
You know, while I've got you, Greg Morris, let me throw another question at you. And look, I'm not wearing a prosecution or a defense hat. As you know, I'm a crime victim. I would say I'm coming at it from that angle. But I was very disturbed, Greg, when I got wind that there is no criminal investigation. It's been said over and over and over. Why not? We don't know how he died. For instance, if he did have water in his lungs, okay, maybe he did drown. But how did he get in the water? Did he fall in the water? Was somebody, wrestling with him in the water and they held him down? They went, oh, my stars, I killed him and left?
Bingo. That's what I think happened allegedly. I think they was wrestling in the water. Like I said, nobody's pointing fingers saying this shit happened on purpose. What I'm trying to say, if it happened by accidentally, y'all was playing around, held him in under the water, and he accidentally, y'all unalived him. Because y'all playing around so much. Y'all got to understand, when people get loopy, they like to play around. They got him in the chokehold under the water probably. How you think he got that rash in back of his neck? How you think he got the mark in back of his neck? That's either coming from a hand mark or that's coming from a chokehold like this. Because if you put somebody like this, this hand right here is going back in your neck. And you got him in a chokehold like this. That's a whole mark. Come on now. What other way this kid got a mark in back of his neck like that? And everybody that joined Nancy Grace on platform, people that do forensics and all this shit, they say that shit come from a hand mark or that shit could come from a chokehold. Hand pressure when you drown on somebody, allegedly, or you playing around with somebody in the water, whatever, and you putting pressure in back of that person's head. You leaving a hand mark, bro. You putting bruises in the back of that person's neck. Come on, bro. That's what I think happened, unless a real crime happened. But see, I think that something happened accidentally, and I think they panicked and they got scared. That's my opinion. I think it was over a female. I think they got into an argument. I'm gonna put that in the air. I think Nolan got into an argument, whoever it was, and might have been a little bit of scuffle. That's my second option. Either they was playing around and they did some old bullshit, or the second option is he got in an argument and the person put him in a chokehold. And everybody, by the time they broke it up, Nolan was already unalive. He couldn't breathe no more. That's what I think happened also. So I got like 3 opinions on this shit on what could have happened. But all that jumping in the water, he participated, just jump in the water and swim by himself and he drowned. I don't believe that bullshit. That shit is BS. I'm just gonna keep it real. Because when you got a mark in back of your neck like that, that shit is coming from a crime allegedly. And I'm gonna say alleged. Let's continue though. Hey, Smoke, there's a lot of conflicts of the interest, starting with the governor that came out earlier and said he drowned. That's what I'm saying, man. And he's friends with one of the boys' parents that put him in a fish cabinet. That part, shout out to Pretty Ma. Smoke, do you remember that Miss Christine said his snaps was gone and waste everything, picture, text, and outside of the snap also gone? That's a fact, Ty. I remember that. And I remember that. Yes, it would totally turn things around. I'm telling you, man, it's an argument with Wyatt. Somebody, shout out to Mary. Mary said, man, he was arguing with Wyatt. That's what I think. He was arguing with somebody from his crew. Y'all got to go back from Warren said Wyatt already had an attitude. Remember that he had a mechanical boat problem. He had a mechanical boat problem. He told Nolan, get on the effing boat. We leaving, Nolan. You think he said that shit calm? He said that shit with aggressive and everything. Nolan might have felt embarrassed. Nolan probably was standing with Katie. Who we don't know. Why you hop out the boat, got in Nolan's face, telling him to come on, we're gonna leave your effing ass here. And that's when they probably got into a fight. I'm just assuming. I don't know. I'm just assuming. And then people gonna say, well, nobody else didn't see it. You gotta remember, they came there 3 boats deep. So that means they came there down there about 30 to 40 people on that island between them 3 boats. That's a lot of people around the circle if something happened. So nobody from the outside of that circle could see in. If you gather around that and you trying to see what's going on, all y'all gathering, y'all letting them scuffle for a little bit, nobody from long distance on the other island could see. Is there. They're in there 20, 30 people gathering around the whole circle while Nolan and Wyatt probably got a scuffle in the middle. Pause. How the hell you gonna see over there? If I'm all the way down here, I can't see what's going on because there's a whole gathering going on. And by the time they broke the fight up, Nolan probably was unalive by then. And they probably played it off. I don't know. I'm assuming. Something happened though. Something happened on the sand or by the boat, and they put him on the boat and act like he still was alive. I don't know. Cause something that he had to have got choked out, bro. He got choked out allegedly. I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying. So we got 30 witnesses. That's what I'm saying. How the hell you only got 2 witnesses, but y'all came there 3 boats deep? And they came there with a lot. It wasn't just 5 people on one, 5 on another, 5 on another. No, there was about 10 people each. If it wasn't 10, it was 8. Come on, let's cut it out here. Like something happened. And you know what? You know the part what I think everybody's saying that 911 call, you can hear them panicking in the back. I think they put him on a boat, making it seem like he might have been unconscious, or he probably was already gone, but they think he's unconscious. They put him on a boat while they was leaving. That's another thing I was thinking. So for people that probably said we ain't see nothing, they might have grabbed them and act like you could grab somebody and put somebody on a boat, 2 people, making it seem like he just drunk, he passed out. If you look from a distance, you're gonna think that individual was passed out. You're not gonna think they put an unalive body on a boat. You're gonna think from a distance that they putting somebody drunk on the boat, that he drank too much. And when they made the 911 call, that's when they realized Nolan was unalive. That's when they said, Nolan, get the F up. That's why they said, yo, check his chest. So for the people from the distance that they're thinking that, oh, why would he put a dead body on a boat? No. If you from a distance looking and they grabbing somebody, 2 individuals, you're thinking that that person is drunk and they helping them, putting them on a boat. You're not automatically thinking that they just unalive somebody a few feet over down there, and you're like, oh no, that person must be drunk. They just put them on a boat. Come on, man. But I think by the time they left, they realized Nolan was unalive. That's why we heard them panicking in the back. Because I'm still trying to think how the hell they even got him on a boat. Unless they fought on a boat, I don't see that happening. I don't think they even fought. I don't even think they was fighting on that boat. That boat too small to fight. I think they had a little scuffle by the boats, and they put Nolan on a boat, thinking he's okay. By the time they left, right away, that boy was unalive, man. He said, balls brother. Because I'm trying to figure out how the hell if it happened on a boat. And when I go back and look at the boat, I'm like, nah, Nolan like 6'1". All these kids got little weight and height on them. Some of them do, not all of them. But Nolan, I mean, and you scuff on that boat, you're gonna fall over the water, all types of shit. Maybe that might have happened. And they jumped in the water, grabbed them, put them back on the boat. I don't know. It's just weird, bro. It's weird, man. But something happened, bro. And I think it was the scuffle and they choked them out. Nah, accident. They in the middle of nowhere. Well, let me go back to that. Let me go to Deshaun. What Deshaun said? He said not an accident. They in the middle of nowhere can easily do what they did. That's a fact, homie. That's a fact. He said the bruising back. Yeah, he had that bruising back of the neck, man. Of his head and inside of his throat missing is telling me he wasn't a rear naked chokehold. That's a fact. And you know them kids like that UFC and all that shit. You get what I'm saying? Real reality painting that picture. I think they had a scuffle by the boat. by the boat. You got to remember, man, there's mad people out there, and they probably put him on a boat after that, thinking that he still was alive. I don't know. I'm just thinking that. Know what I mean? And then they got everybody else thinking he's still alive. And by the time they realized he was unalive, it was too late. How many likes we got, man? We got over 300 people in the building, man. Come on, man. Let's get 200 likes, gang. Come on, what we doing out here, man? We still got to continue. We're not done. That part two, Jerome. Shout out to Jerome. When we gonna get that goddamn results? When we gonna get the results? These kids was loopy and hammered and all this and shit. When we gonna find out that Nolan has some type of drug substance in his body? Come on, man. We ain't even get that yet. Niggas don't want to give us nothing in Mississippi. That shit is bugged out to me. Y'all making shit look obvious as hell out there in Mississippi. What the hell y'all doing down there, man? Let's get them likes up. Let's get 4 more likes, gang. Damn, y'all being tight with them likes tonight. Come on, pause. Let's get them likes up. We got 196 likes. We done been here almost an hour. Come on, gang. We got to share these videos. Get them likes up, man. Y'all want me to start jumping off the chair and shit. I ain't got that energy, man. We've been doing these stories for a long time. That shit been draining me, too. Let's continue with on Auntie Nancy, though. Smash that like button, man.
Did he hit his head? Why not? We don't know how he died. For instance, if he did have water in his lungs, okay, maybe he did drown. But how did he get in the water? Did he fall in the water?
That part. Then I just mentioned that. That's another mystery. So if he did drown, we got a whole nother question for y'all. How did he get in the water? What made him get in the water? Why nobody ain't see him in the water? You know how many questions we can ask him on if they want to say he just drowned? Okay, so we're going to sit back and wait, and we're going to ask y'all about 20 questions. How he get in the water? Why he get in the water? Who else was in the water? What happened in the water? Nobody ain't see him in the water? Like, come on, I could continue on and on and on. Telling you, man, they playing. They think people out here dumb, to be honest.
For instance, if he did have water in his lungs, okay, maybe he did drown. But how did he get in the water? Did he fall in the water? Was somebody, wrestling with him in the water and they held him down? They went, oh, my stars, I killed him and left. Did he hit his head?
Well-
I mean, there's a lot more to it than saying, oh, yeah, he drowned. How can someone state there is no criminal investigation? I understand a grand jury is about to be convened. That doesn't mean there's a crime, but doesn't that suggest to you a grand jury inside the Superior Courthouse, inside the district attorney's office, would suggest there is a criminal investigation?
Well, it would potentially lead someone to believe that, yeah, a criminal investigation was undergoing. However, when we look at how this has played out over the last 6 weeks, how law enforcement has acted, they haven't seized Nolan Wells' phone at this point. In a criminal investigation, law enforcement's going to use those tools to get this information.
Are
So
you
this could
sitting
just be
down,
a
Morris?
drowning. I'm sitting down, and this could just be a drowning. And that's why they're looking at
Yes,
it that way,
could.
because
Nobody's
nothing's told
fighting
them
with
it's a
you yet.
but everything's not a crime.
Oh,
It doesn't
my
have to be
stars.
investigated as
You're
a crime.
still talking. We've already established that. Here's the other, you know what? I'm going to let you think about what you just said. I'm going to go to Jeff Shetler joining us. Guys, this is a special guest joining us out of Edisto Island, South Carolina. Former police K-9 handler, author of 5 books. Last one, 2 weeks to operational tracking. I like this one. Red Dog Rising, K9 trailing, the straightest path, tactical tracker teams, the Tao of trailing. He is at gak9.com. Question, I get this a lot from the viewers, so you can put it to rest.
Oh, there go the half up. Shout out to the half up, man. Shout out to the official. Shout out to official, man, for the 1999 super chat. Appreciate it. She said this case is about to crack. They telling already. Salute. That's a fact. They're going to tell. Somebody just posted up saying they got the autopsy today, but they ain't posted to public. I don't know if that really happened, to be honest. But shout out to official, man. Shout out to F5. Shout out to the Bay Area, man, for that 1999 super chat. Appreciate that. She always show love. He said the pool part shows one man taking a picture with arms around one of the boys in the same chokehold move. So I've been studying Black history since I was in 5th grade. I'm 66. He said these white folks haven't changed in 2026. Woo! Shout out to Jackson. Shout out to Cecilia. Shout out to Cecilia. If I'm pronouncing it right, honey. She said I'm 66. He said these folks down here, they ain't changed yet. Mm, 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 mm. Shout out to her, man. Shout out to Miss Jackson, for real. She said they ain't changed yet. And I'm 66 years old. We in 26. Shout out to Chris, man, for the $4.99 super chat. He said, I don't think Mississippi gonna give us that. Is that we got our feet on their neck. Yeah, I don't know. Mississippi is doing, to be honest. Mississippi, they playing games. They sitting back like, oh, nah, we ain't giving this evidence out. They're gonna try to expose us. They're gonna do everything. Yeah, exactly. Because there's a lot of shenanigans going on. We need that. Yeah, we need a neck structure. We need all that. What y'all holding back for, man? Because y'all know if y'all give us the lungs in this water, then we're gonna be like, okay, so how you got in the water? Nobody ain't see him in the water. Nobody wasn't swimming in the water with him. So everybody just turned their back while Nolan took a little swim, huh? Make that shit make sense. Shout out to Chris, man, for that $4.99 super chat. Appreciate that, chat. He said that dude need to keep his mouth closed. What are you talking about? Lonnie Broom, we talking about? We got a troll up here, man. What Lonnie talking about? You know, I be peeping everything. Salute, smoke, salute. Shout out to OG. He said they could have fought on a boat at the same time as they call when Bart stepped on the boat for a second to help. Damn it, Bart. Are you talking about the part when they did the 911 call? I get what you're saying, Village. He said they could have fought on a boat at the same time as the call when Bart stepped on the boat for a sec to help. And that's when you heard damn it, Bart. I remember that part when you said damn it, Bart. I remember that. Definitely remember that. Shout out to Official again, man, for that 1999 super chat. She said if they wanted that phone, why they didn't subpoena the phone? That's what I don't understand. Why they ain't doing it in the beginning if they wanted that phone so goddamn bad? Y'all want to do this while they touring and shit, bringing awareness to this. Oh, now we need 24 hours. They doing too much. We got to shut this shit down. They panicking down there, allegedly. And everything I say is alleged. They panicking out there, man. They panicking. Shout out to you again, Official, man. Shout out to Official again for that 1999 super chat. We're gonna get some more super chat. We're gonna get cash chat. What we doing here, man? Support the channel, man. What we doing out here in these streets? We got to continue with Aunt Nancy. Let not forget that it just slipped on the latest interview and let us know adults were present. That's a fact. That's a fact, Linda. That's a fact. Remember, there was a whole bunch of adults there, man. Come on, man. We had adults, young kids, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, teenagers. Remember his brother was fighting and shit. I mean, talking about he put somebody in an arm bar. They was teenagers. So we looking at what, 14, 15 years old and all that? Come on, man. There's more to this story, bro. I'm starting to think the parents was on a goddamn island too. But some people think this shit didn't happen on the island. It might have happened at the house. Said the doc cameras belong to someone they all cool with. That's a fact. Cause how the hell we get the footage of them in the beginning, but we don't get the footage of them coming back? Make it sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Let's continue though. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video, man. Follow me on Kick also, and follow me on all platforms. IG, TikTok. Y'all already know what's going on.
How long does a person have to be dead before a cadaver dog will pick up on that scent?
Well, honestly, a dog's going to pick up on the live or dead scent as soon as they're out there. So the time frame, from hours to a day or so is really not a big deal. It doesn't matter what type of dog you have that's looking for humans. Within that first 24 hours, either type of dog, a live finder, deceased person dog, is going to be viable. They're going to pick up on anything that's there. The big issue that we have.
Shout out to Jerome for the $9.99 super chat, man. Shout out to Jerome for the $9.99 super chat. Appreciate that, champ. You already know the vibes, man. Salute.
Have here is primarily the contamination. after the fact. If the dog was placed at the scene initially to search for our victim, then the chances are the success rate would actually be pretty good. The island is very, very small. There's not a lot of hiding places. There's not a lot of places he could go. On the other hand, inside the water might be a different story. We have tide issues and everything else that are occurring there.
So you bring in a scent dog. I would assume you bring in a scent dog first. But the issue with that, in my mind, probatively, like what can I use? How can I use that in trial? What's it going to prove for me? I already know Nolan was on the boat to start with. So, of course, the dog is going to pick up Nolan's scent on the boat. That's not hard to figure out. So I know a scent dog is going to pick up on that.
That is true. She do got a point on that, because no matter what, if you was on that boat, that dog gonna pick up your scent. So she do got a point on that. That point right there don't even matter, to be honest. We got to find out more afterwards, blood and shit like that, DNA, blood, anything, because a dog could pick that up right before you die. Like, oh yeah, we already know he was on the boat, but we got to know, what time he was on the boat, shit like that, because we know he jumped on the boat when he got there. But what time when they left? What did he leave with them? What happened? That's the part. Everything about this case is time. Timestamp, 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 time. That's the whole thing about this case. Video and time, pictures and time. If we could get pictures and videos without no timestamp on that shit is irrelevant. Because that 4th of July picture could have been last year. Lord knows that, you know what I mean? Like, come on now. That could have been last year, 4th of July. You got to remember, they always do this. They was there last year. They was there the year before that. So this is a thing that they usually do for the last 3 to 4 years. They go to Nolan, join them, and they go to Horn Island. So, but everything that's proven to us, everything that's getting seen, there's no timestamp on them shits. So that shit doesn't even matter. That's why I look at all these videos. I'm like, nah, give us a timestamp and give us a goddamn date.
There's a lot more joining us out of Edisto 9 dot.
The time frame, dog you have that's looking for humans, within that first 24 hours, either type of dog, a live finder, deceased person dog, is going to be viable. They're going to pick up on anything that's there. The big issue that we have here is primarily the contamination. After the fact, if the dog was placed at the scene initially to search for our victim, then the chances are the success rate would actually be pretty good. The island is very, very small. There's not a lot of hiding places. There's not a lot of places he could go. On the other hand, inside the water might be a different story. We have tide issues and everything else that are occurring there.
So you bring in a scent dog. I would assume you bring in a scent dog first. But the issue with that, in my mind, probatively, like what can I use? How can I use that in trial? What's it going to prove for me? I already know Nolan was on the boat to start with. So, of course, the dog is going to pick up Nolan's scent on the boat. That's not hard to figure out. So I know a scent dog is going to pick up on that. But a cadaver dog. What should have been done immediately with a cadaver dog. And I'm putting this out there not to say woulda, coulda, shoulda. Maybe it happened and we haven't been informed. The press, the media, has no right to information in an ongoing. So this may have been done and we haven't been told. I can only pray. So regarding a cadaver dog, what should have been done, Jeff Shetler, and how should it have been done, and when should it have been done?
Lock down the location. Don't let anybody on there. Get the dogs in. See what type of reaction they have. Every second that goes by, every minute that goes by, every hour that goes by will have an impact on the dog work when it comes to age of the material, age of the odor, and more importantly, what your contamination factor is. And this is the one big thing that nobody ever really thinks about. That they think the dogs are going to be these magical creatures that detect everything that you're looking for. But that's going to be mitigated dramatically by any type of human activity on the scene. That's the first thing that has to happen.
Shout out to Official for that $49.99 super chat. I'm telling you, you show love a lot, man. I appreciate that. Shout out to Official for the $49.99 super chat. I appreciate that. And also shout out to Tanya for that $10 on Cash App. Appreciate it. Shout out to Tanya for the $10 Cash App. Appreciate that. That's what I say. They bring these dogs here, and not for nothing, but the dogs really can't tell us much. It's the timestamp of everything: photo, video, timestamp, and witness. That's all we need. Let's continue. But he's trying to tell you what the dogs do actually.
And so if you're going to use dogs, you need to get them out there right away. They actually have to be one of the first things on scene.
Morgan, professor of forensics, Jacksonville State University. You can find his hit YouTube show, Body Bags, with Joe Scott Morgan. But most important, he is a death investigator with over 10,000 death scenes under his belt. Isn't it true, Joe Scott, that a cadaver dog, aka a human remains detection dog, can absolutely detect the scent of a dead person as early as 45 minutes to 3 hours after the death because of the cellular breakdown in organic compounds? Could you translate what I just said, which I've said in court before, into regular people talk?
Yeah, so our building blocks are cells, and so those cells begin to break down. And you're right. People don't understand that human decomposition literally begins at a cellular level the moment we're gone, okay? So the two compounds that you're looking for here when it comes to cadaver searches utilizing canine assets are putrescine and cadaverine, or cadaverine as well. And what they are, they're an organic compound that combine as a result of the cellular breakdown, and it gives off a particular odor. Now, to what Jeff was saying just a moment ago, if there is some type of, let's just say, blood evidence, all right, on the boat, that I pray this boat was locked down quickly.
And that's what we need. We need that blood evidence, any type of DNA. But y'all got to remember, they went to the dock. They left the boat there. They went home. They act like Nolan was not missing a couple hours later. So we don't know what the hell they did during that 30, 40 minutes when they stopped at that little dock over there. And then according, allegedly, it was one of their grandpa docks, private dock. When they came back, not when they left, when they came back, they went to a whole nother spot and parked them goddamn boats, or parked one or two boats. It was nasty work, man. Because why we don't got no photo, no videos of them coming back? I don't understand that. Y'all want to give us when they going on a boat. Okay, we see that. But why y'all don't give us nothing of them coming back on any one of them docks? Make it make sense. Jerome said corruption. That's a fact, allegedly. That's a fact, Jerome.
The point of impact, say, for instance, on a railing, any of the gunnels in there, those areas in there, and you have blood deposition, guess what happens, Nancy? That blood begins to break down, just like a body does, okay? So you'll have the scent that is there, and it is wholly different than tracking a human, all right? Now, where else would you find it? Well, we know that Nolan's remains are allegedly found on the shore, right? They're allegedly right there. Now, we also know, and remember what the second autopsy said, he's in an advanced state of decomposition at this point in time. So the trick is here trying to
that's
understand.
When he's found on the beach. Hold on.
Exactly.
Joe Scott, that's when he's found on the beach. But my understanding, and of course, I'm just a trial lawyer. I'm not a canine expert like Jeff Shetler is, but within minutes to hours, minutes, dogs can pick up on the scent of human decomp. It starts almost immediately, and the dog can smell that.
You can say within 45 minutes, but I have to tell you, there is a lot of variability here, dependent upon a lot of environmental conditions, even the individual that is decomposing. That's going to play into it. So that's not a static number. It's a bracketed number. So you don't know how long it's going to take for this to actually begin to develop.
We also know that well-trained dogs, like Jeff Shetler works with, can still hit on decomp, even microscopic particles in soil, long after the body has been removed, sometimes years or even decades later, depending on the condition. But as Shetler just pointed out, in these conditions where the surface of the boat is exposed to water, to wind, to contamination, not so much. I'm going to circle back to Jeff in just a moment regarding any possibility of tracking human decomp or human scent on Horn Island. The thing is, we know he was there, so we know the dogs will hit on him being there alive. But what about dead? I also want to clear something else up, and this is really important. Greg Morse, these acquaintances that went out on the beach, I'm not razor locked on them. I'm looking at them. I'm looking at everybody. Who are these two witnesses? If they are telling the truth, that Nolan Wells was on Horn Island at either 5 or 6 o'clock, then the acquaintances on the Triton are in the clear. Because Morse, I know, based on their GPS, what time they left the island. So we have to keep our minds open as to what, who, what, where, why. The whole shebang. We can't lock in on those acquaintances if they had already left and he's still on the island. Is that true? I don't know. But it could be, right? Many an investigation has failed because the prosecutor did not keep their mind open as to potential suspects, right?
Well, that's 100% right. You know, the police have to keep an open mind. Here, it's not even a criminal investigation. So 6 weeks approximately has gone by. The folks that were on the boat with Nolan, nothing has come out even remotely to indicate they were involved in some foul play at this point at all. They're just people that went out to this island with their friend. It appears their friend may have stayed afterwards, and maybe a tragedy happened. Maybe something else happened that wasn't involving them.
A tragedy did happen.
6
Nolan
weeks.
Wells is dead, and I'm going to find out how. But I tell you what,
but you're talking about 6 weeks.
About
this is
why no
this is
polygraphs have
isolated.
been taken. I'm just
Why?
very curious.
But why?
But many
Why?
defense
For
lawyers
what?
wouldn't dream of letting their
They're
client
not
take part.
suspects.
Let me get to
But
the phone.
Nancy, you're turning
Dear Lord.
what's not
Of
a
course they're
criminal
not suspects. You
investigation
said that
and
10
want the
times. You're
trappings
wasting
of
my time.
one.
Stop it.
But when you talk about
I see his
polygraph,
lips moving. I hear. Okay, yeah, just keep him just like that. Yeah, that's the way I like Morse. Don't hurt your head, Morse. Don't hurt your head. Okay. Susan Hendricks. Oh, my stars, Hendricks. The family is now seemingly being accused of wrongdoing because they haven't handed the phone over yet. What happened back on, I've got a big note here, phone July 15. Isn't that when the family had a meeting and said, yes, you can have the phone, but they want independent examiners there at the same time, right? Tell me July 15, what happened?
July 15th, the attorney for the parents of Nolan met and said, yes, we want to give over the phone, but we want someone in the middle here, someone from the outside, an expert to analyze the phone. It appeared everyone agreed. Then all of a sudden they get a letter saying, we want the phone and you have 24 hours to send it over. The DA sent that. And the parents were out of town. It's a wait.
Hold on. We got the homie Keith, man. We got one of the mods' birthday today. Shout out to the homie Keith, man. HBD, happy birthday, homie. You already know, salute, man. More life and more blessings, man. You already know what's going on. More life and more blessings. Blessings to your family and everything, man. Definitely salute, man. Happy birthday to the homie Keith, man. One of the mods. Definitely happy birthday, homie. Know how to take one. No, I mean, pause. Let's continue, gang. Once again, salute to Keith, man. Happy birthday, man. More blessings, man. You know the shit.
We don't have the time to do that. Hence the narrative that they're not cooperating. Now, they say, Nolan's parents, look, we have our experts on standby. This week, pick a day. And not to mention, on the 19th, 19th, or a difficult week for the family, but they say, hey, we'll give up his cell phone. We want someone, a mediator, if you will, an expert in the middle.
Well, you know, this is interesting. what you just said. Joe Scott Morgan, professor of forensics, Jacksonville State University, which has, I've been there, and it is a world-class Crim Pro division. Whole building, whole floor is set up just to recreate scenes. I was so impressed by it. Joe Scott has worked with me on multiple recreations, intricate recreations at Jacksonville State University to try to figure out, is what the defendant is saying, does that make sense? Is what the state is saying, does that make sense? Just all sorts of things you can learn from actually recreating the scene. That said, Joe Scott, I have examined evidence myself at the crime lab, and you know the crime lab out on Panthersville Road is amazing, state of the art, with the defense attorney there. And I typically would not allow a defense team to examine the evidence unless I was there.
That part. Even Nancy know not to drop nothing off, not to do nothing with a phone, nothing if my presence ain't there or everybody else ain't there. We just ain't gonna let y'all people just tamper shit allegedly on your own. Y'all already taking along with the autopsy will make you think you won't do something with the goddamn phone. Come on, make it make sense. Smash that like button. Let's get 300 likes, gang. Smash that like button. Once again, happy birthday to the homie Keith, man. More blessings, bro.
Do I think they're going to do something nefarious? Maybe, probably not. But I don't want them to even touch it if it could somehow, compromise the evidence. And it can. A lot of the times, even touching it can compromise the evidence. So this is not unheard of, that the family wants an independent investigator there when the phone is.
You're right, and it happens. Nancy, I've actually been in autopsy suites with defense attorneys, believe it or not. All manner of people come through the labs over the years as an independent set of eyes. So let's just say that they do, in fact, have an independent individual examine this phone. And I think this question goes back to you as a prosecuting attorney. Would any kind of findings that were on that phone, would they be negated as a result of the state not doing? If you wanted to move forward as using this evidence in a criminal prosecution, perhaps, would it invalidate it since the state is not doing it? And what are you going to find? And how many hands are going to be on this phone at that given time?
Are you saying that if the defense did their own investigation of the phone and the state did not, would that negate the defense findings?
Yeah, because remember, we've got a grand jury that's going to be
Let me
impaneled,
tell you,
allegedly.
HELLYES. Because the first thing, if the shoe was on the other foot, I would do is.
Look, he don't even believe they got a grand jury because he even said allegedly. They just telling us they taking the shit to the grand jury. Then, like I told y'all, when the grand jury get their hands on it, autopsy, whatever, they could push that shit all the way to 2027. 2027, right around the corner, to be honest.
Yeah.
Isn't it true? I gave you the opportunity to review the phone. Isn't that true? On this date. And you didn't do it. So don't come complaining now. Oh, yeah, that would be a matter for cross-exam. Digital forensics expert, founding member of the FBI cellular.
Now, I want y'all to hear this now, because, she always brings somebody professional on some type of topic on what we're talking about. So this guy obviously does professional phone shit. He unlock phones. He does the data. He does shit like that. Now, he's going to explain how easy they could have easily did this shit in the beginning. Peep this out. Let me repeat myself. He's going to show you how easy they could have found out, deleted Texas and all that if Mississippi was really on a job.
Analysis survey team. Historical cellular analysis expert, former FBI, 22 years. Former homicide, Norfolk, Virginia Police Department. Works multiple cases and currently with precision cellular analysis. I could go on. Scott, tell me how this examination, I mean, you don't just pick up the phone and go, okay, I looked at it. What is a phone examination? How do I get evidence of potential snaps that were sent that day, texts, emails, photos taken during those critical hours? And important, how do I find out if anything was deleted? We've heard, yes, it's deleted. No, it wasn't deleted. The only way we're going to know is from a forensics exam. How do you do it? Now, take baby steps. Go ahead.
It's pretty easy nowadays. You get the physical phone itself, you hook it up to a device like the Cellbrite, which is one of the main producers of this type of software that can download phones. First of all, obviously, you have to have the password to the phone. If not, then you have to go through a lot of processes to get past the password and into the phone. But once you're into the phone, and this can be done with other people standing by, as you were talking about, another investigator for the defense or for the family or something like that being there, they can sit there and watch you download the phone. And basically, once you download a copy of what's on the phone, and you're not really messing with the evidence that's on the phone, you're not changing it, you're just copying it to another computer, and then you can start going through that data. You can look at all the text messages, and it'll even let you know which ones have been deleted. Now, of course, deleted means, it's
Put them up, please. Put them up, please. What do you see when you're looking for deleted? Do you see like you log on and you just see all this data, X's and O's and digits, and how do I tell something's been deleted? Explain that to me. I mean, unless it's in recently deleted, but even my twins at age 3 knew how to go into my phone and find recently deleted and delete it. And how do you find it?
So it's actually just, on the computer screen, you're looking at all the lists of text messages, and it says right to the right of it, this one was deleted. So in an aspect, if it hadn't been overwritten, think about how computers work. You delete something just like a phone. You delete something, it kind of takes it and moves it into a to an area you're not using. And then once, if the phone starts getting full, it starts writing over that deleted stuff. So things that were deleted at some point in time are still there and can be recovered. The actual texts of the text message, the content of the text messages is still there until it's getting written over by the phone.
Scott Eicher, has your company, Precision Cellular Analysis, performed these independent examinations of phones?
Yes, they have. We have a whole group of individuals in our company that just specialize in downloading phones, rebuilding phones that are damaged.
He's basically saying, man, Mississippi, if they really wanted to find out, they could have did this shit early instead of dragging it to this point. That's basically what Nancy's trying to explain to everybody also. That's why she bring these people on her platform. Because the way he broke it down, they could have easily found out, deleted on videos. But like I said, Mama Love don't believe them. She don't trust them. So why would you suspect her to go down there and drop a phone off if she don't trust y'all? Nah, we're gonna sit down at the table. We're all gonna have a meeting, and we're gonna unlock this phone together, and we're gonna see what got deleted on this phone. And then the thing that's crazy though, we don't know what got deleted on the buddy's phone. But they're gonna find out, because anything you delete, I don't care what you try to do, that's just gonna reappear. So yeah, we're gonna find all that out by the end of this week.
So that the data can be pulled from the phone and breaking into the phones if we don't have the password.
What is Cellbrite and how is it used?
It's a program that's been around for a good amount of time, probably 15 years, and each year it gets more updated, but it's a program that actually goes into the phone and allows you to copy the information from the phone onto a different computer. And then you can look at that data and spend time going through it, get all the chronological information from text messages to pictures to Snapchat. So you can get a timeline from all these different areas of the phone.
What about a digital forensics go bag? A portable data collection rig. We saw it in the Nancy Guthrie investigation. It was used when the investigators went into the Guthrie family home. You see it on field operations, intelligence, digital forensics. They extract or they mirror digital info right there on location, a tactical exploitation kit like a forensics go bag.
Yes, those are available, and basically Cellbrite is that also. It's more for phones, but you can have the same type of device for computers and for other devices in the home. But Cellbrite is also a portable device that you can take to a crime scene, take to a house, or go to a individual's residence and do that download. It doesn't have to be done in the office.
According to the family, they have made the phone and their independent experts readily available.
The Jackson County DA's office, as well as our forensic team, and possibly the FBI, we're going to together download and examine the phone. So it's done one time with everybody together, right? This is very common in the law. This is what is supposed to happen. We are waiting for the DA to determine the time, the place, the date. Let us know, and we are going to be there with our forensics team and anybody else, but it's done one time, one examination. We're ready for it to happen.
Hello. And that was the press conference. That's their attorney. That's one of the attorneys that's representing the Wells family. That's not a civil right attorney. That's actually attorney. And she told them straight up, when y'all ready, we can meet up. So how the hell can y'all just send a 24-hour last moment talking about we need y'all phone and these people was out of state and all that? No, because y'all know what's going on is gonna come to the light. And y'all trying to stall, y'all trying to rush, y'all trying to make these people come down here and do this and give their phone up. Nah, they taking their time like y'all take y'all time. Oh, let me repeat myself. They taking their time like y'all been taking y'all time for damn near a month or going on 2 months damn near. Come on, bruh. No, they want somebody to just jump up and run down there, huh? Nah, we had an agreement. Give us a time, give us a date, and we're going to meet y'all down there. Shout out to her attorney. She broke that shit down simple. We ain't going to be playing these games. And that's old right there. What, a week later, that's when they send a 24-hour notice? Today, yesterday, talking about we need a phone? Come on, man. They playing games. Playing games, B.
From our friends at WLOX, that's Liza Park, working with Nolan's mother. To you, Susan Hendricks, now somehow it's made to look like the family, Nolan's family, is not cooperating. Let me understand what has happened. So Nolan's family went out of state. I don't know why. And while they were gone, they get a demand letter from the DA's office?
Exactly. A demand letter. No subpoena, but demanding letter. You got to be shitting me. Yeah, because you know why? You know why, Connie? Because they shaking. That's why. They nervous as hell, allegedly. That's what's going on over there. They nervous. They know everything about to come to the light.
Letter, family went out of state. I don't know why. And while they were gone, they get a demand letter from the DA's office?
Yeah, that said you have 24 hours. And they were at the NABJ, National Association of Black Journalists conference in Georgia. They spoke on stage and they said, wait a minute, we're not there. We can't do that. I thought we agreed on July 15th at that meeting that we would come together and do this. And now you're acting like we're not cooperating, but we are. So then they came back now, Nolan's family attorney saying, okay, any day this week, we need 24 hours notice and we'll make it happen. They're not hiding the phone. They just don't trust for the DA to have the phone alone without an independent investigation into the phone, someone who's not biased.
And, you know, Dave Mack, Crime Stories investigative reporter, the family is afraid. Many people have seen injustice in other cases that have nothing to do with them. And I believe they fear evidence will be destroyed or mishandled, and it can never be recaptured. It's very possible it could never be recaptured. I mean, you and I and Joe Scott, you did an incredible recreation in the Ellen Greenberg case, remember? Ellen Greenberg stabbed, I think, 20 plus times, including the back of the head, the back of the neck, the back, actually severing the dura of her spinal cord. And the ruling was suicide. Okay, this
Yeah.
is what I'm getting leading up to. So
Yes, ma'am.
all of the evidence was not documented at the scene. The
No.
police told, this is in Philly, told the apartment manager, sure, clean it up. As a matter of fact, here's a professional cleaner. Call them. They had it professionally cleaned. Bye-bye, evidence. Gone. Gone. Not only that, the apartment manager took a video of the inside of Ellen's apartment to show basically, look, this is how it was before, this is how it is after. We want to prove we didn't take anything, we didn't steal anything, everything is accounted for. And that's SOP, standard operating procedure. So when they didn't process the crime scene, they went, oh, thank goodness, at least we have the video. They handed the video over to Philly PD and they lost it.
Yeah.
Just let that
There's
sink
one more
in for a
thing.
moment.
There's one more
That
thing that
case
kind of ties
still-
back to. There's
Go
one more
ahead.
thing that kind of ties back to Nolan's case here as well, and that's the fact that with Ellen, I don't know if you recall this, the computer made it out of there as well. Do you recall that? And that was never
yes.
examined, right? And so that's, again, we're left wanting, Nancy,
Ellen's
relative to all of the data.
with all of the info leading up to the time
Everything.
of her murder, ruled suicide,
Yeah.
taken off the scene. Now, I'm not
Yep.
claiming that the people that took it, they were family members of the fiance. For all I know, they took it because they didn't want anybody to steal it. And nothing nefarious happened. But the problem is, you lock down a scene. I mean, look what's happened to Nancy Guthrie. A pizza
Yeah, you
delivery
can't-
guy
yeah.
came and walked right over the blood evidence to deliver a pizza. Same thing here, Dave Mack. I get why the Nolan Wells family is fearful.
Well, Nancy, this investigation, I'm putting air quotes in that because if you remember early on, it was a drowning, and no investigation had even been done. You realize he was missing. It wasn't like it was hours and they went back and he was missing for almost 2 days. And
Former FBI, 22, the Nolan Wells family.
And no investigation had even been done.
He was missing almost 2 days. That's the key point. And no investigation was even going on during them 2 days. And then when they found him, they still the first thing the sheriff did, the first thing he was, it seemed like it wasn't no crime involved. How? He was missing for 2 days. I couldn't find the kid. Like I said, they want us to believe that this kid just washed off in the shore and just watched and he just came back. It doesn't work like that. There's no way in the world that shit happened. Like, let's cut it out here. There's no way he would have washed off and came back off the shore. No way. And then in 2 days, that's not happening. That's not happening. And that shit get me upset because the sheriff had a lot of nerve to even say, "Oh, let me fix my camera, gang. Hope this shit ain't moving. Yeah, this shit ain't. Oh, yup, it's moving. I knew that's what it was doing. Hold up. Got this shit moving on some bullshit. There we go with this moving camera shit. Give me a second. Let me play this actually while I'm doing this.
Done. You realize he was missing. It wasn't like it was hours and they went back and he was missing for almost 2 days. And the family early on was not.
And that's exactly what I'm saying here. No way in the world you're going to tell me there's no investigation, no crime, nothing going on when you find a body and he was missing for 2 days and your first thing is say that I don't see nothing wrong with it. I think he just accidentally drowned. This is what the sheriff said. And you want us to believe everything I've been saying since a month and a half ago? Y'all want the buddies to do these interviews and y'all want us to believe everything they're saying on the interview with the laughing, with the smirk, with the giggles? No tears, no emotion, no affection, no sympathy, nothing for a so-called brother and friend that they so-called said that's Nolan. Only thing I seen was giggles, laugh, and smirks, nigga. That's it. Come on, bro. And y'all want us to believe this shit, huh? Y'all want to believe everything y'all telling us? Hell no. They couldn't even find the kid. You know why? Because somebody placed them there. That part. I'm gonna continue saying this, man. That water around that island, we got the Gulf of Mexico, and it's a lot of shit going on in that water. You got gators, sharks, all types of weird shit. Nolan body would not have reappeared a day and a half. I'm sorry, bro. His body would not have reappeared a day and a half. That body would have been gone. Gone. His body would have been gone. You got creatures in that water. And you got to understand, we're not talking about a few minutes, a couple of hours. We're talking about a day and a half, damn near 2 days. And that shit just pardon me, I ain't mean it that way. May his soul rest in peace. His body just reappear Monday morning, huh? Doesn't make no sense. That's his one in a lifetime for a body to be floating out there, floating underwater, floating back on floating back on top of the water, there for a day and a half, come back, and it just land like this. The only thing I could think of, he was out there swimming trying to come back, and he drowned. That's the only thing I could think of. But who threw him in the water out there for him trying to swim back to the island? I sat back. We've been covering this shit since day one. I sat back. I said, let me think of another narrative. I said, okay, if they want to say his body appeared on the shoreline of when they found him, his body was on the shoreline of the sand and the water, face down. I said, okay, y'all want to say he drowned? So I said, how about he was swimming, but who threw him in the water? And he was trying to swim back to the island? Because I don't see an unalive body floating in the water for 2 days and no creature took a bite out of you or nothing. At least you alive, you swimming, you got a little bit of motion in you, know what I mean? You alive, so you know you're a little bit focused. And then you might have gave up and drowned at the end. But who threw him in the water? I don't see him just voluntary. Yo, let me go jump in the water and I mean go take a little dip in the water. Pause. I don't see that happening. Not no 18-year-old kid gonna do that by himself. That's what I'm saying. Raymond's body was placed there. I'm just coming up with different options on the narrative they trying to spin. So if y'all want to spin that he drowned, okay, I got these options then. How he got in the water? What happened? What was the reason why he was in the water? Did somebody throw him in the water? He was trying to swim back? Come on. Hey, come down to you. That nigga said Katie did it. Miss Special from down there, she said not possible. She said that's the Gulf of Mexico, that part. We talking heavy water, bro. People in Mississippi know that water ain't nothing to play with down there. Where they at? Telling you, man. He said I was just about to say it's sharks in them. And that's what I'm saying. 803, you got sharks, gators, all types of shit, Chad. There's no way in the world that your body gonna be floating out there for 2 days. And them gators and all that shit don't come on, bro. Think about that shit. Not for nothing, respectfully, his body would have never reappeared. That body would have been gone.
Getting everything, and
I get why the Nolan Wells family is fearful.
well, Nancy, this investigation, I'm putting air quotes in that because if you remember early on, it was a drowning, and no investigation had even been done. You realize he was missing. It wasn't like it was hours and they went back and he was missing for almost 2 days. And the family early on was not getting information that they felt like they should. All they're saying is, we want to be assured of the chain of custody, how the extraction on this phone is going to be performed, who would have access to the extracted data. That's important. Preservation of the evidence. And then when is this phone going to be returned to us? This is the last thing they have of their son. And those things that I just mentioned, those were the items discussed on July 15th. And there was no follow-up after that until August 12th, when the DA's office, tells the family, well, you got 48 hours to turn the phone over, and they were out of town. So, yeah, there's a lot going on with the most important part of the evidence.
So there was no way by
that
the
we
time
have.
they find out about the letter that they could comply with the 48-hour requirement.
That's the end of that. Shout out to Auntie Nancy. Because I'm telling you, there's no way of that, bro. There's no way. That's why I said I know. Listen, man, it's something strange. It's a cover up. There's something going on. They're trying to protect their little buddies, their little family, their little tight-knit community. That's what's going on here, bro. Nolan wasn't raised with them. Nolan ain't go to kindergarten with them. Nolan met these people late in his life. That's what I'm trying to explain to people. Nolan grew up more with Javon and all them kids. That's why I think Mama Love said, listen, okay, I know his friends, but I don't know of them. I know the ones he grew up with from day one. 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, shit like that. All the way to 18. It's just when you get older, you expand. You meet different friends. You start hanging out. You like the adventure they do. You like, hold up, these niggas go boating. These niggas be out there boating in the middle. Remember, Nolan parents don't own a boat. Them boys out there, they really don't do the boat activities. But on the other side of town, these kids do the boat activities. Then you got the little bunnies running around. You don't think Nolan want them little bunnies? No, I mean, come on. He's a ladies' man. He played football. He's athletic. He's tall and all this. You know what I mean? Come on, gang. That nigga went up there, was like, hold up. I ain't going back to the hood, nigga. I ain't saying they live in the hood, but he's like, I'm staying up here with the rich people. You seen their house. You seen the back of their pool and all that shit. They got private docks, big houses, little nice pools in the back. Come on, man. What we talking about here? So when you get close with them type of people, you start adapting into their life. It's a different lifestyle, something you never experienced throughout your whole early years of your life with your other friends. That part, if it make sense. Different people got different activities. Different cultures got different activities. Sometimes you like different. You expand. You like, instead of staying in the house, being in the backyard, let me go hang out with Warren and them on a boat and go to the island and shit like that. Or let me go to Warren and them house because they got a pool party going on every goddamn weekend. It's summertime. Come on, bro. Why not go over there? I'm gonna see Katie, Jessica, and all these other girls, Warren and Wyatt and all these kids. That's why he been going over there. He liked the lifestyle. The kid liked the lifestyle, man. But for them to act like that ain't a brother with no sympathy, no tears or nothing, that's how I know something strange going on. There's too many people connected, exactly. And then you got Javon mother saying that Warren's up there lying. For the people that just joined in. We got 400 some people in the man. Smash that like button for the people that just joined in, man. He was used to that lifestyle. That's a fact, Stephanie. That's what I'm saying. Come on. There's nothing wrong with that, though. When you meet new friends, you get adapted to new activities, new lifestyle shit. Know what I mean? That's what I was thinking too, Keith. I think they was hating on Nolan. I ain't gonna say Warren or I said this from day one. Warren might have the love that he got for Nolan, and maybe one or two, probably. But the rest of y'all other little buddies don't got that same type of love. They might have hated him. I mean, he come around, all the attention on Nolan. Nolan know how to dance. Nolan know how to do everything. You heard Warren and them. Yeah, we love Nolan when he come around. You know, he liked the party up. How many times did they say that? Am I lying, gang? They said when Nolan come around, man, he liked the shit up, man. He liked the party up, man. That tells you right there. He's the life of the party. He get everybody dancing, all types of shit. That part. What are we talking about here? Come on, man. Nolan had that swag. He got that black in him, nigga. Oh, man, shit. Support the channel. Grab your membership. Follow me on all platforms. Kick, Instagram, TikTok, man. We got the super chat. We got the Cash App also on the banner. So we just said no smoke. I'm telling you, Nolan parents live better than them. He was used to money. I believe you. They say Nolan mom got that. I mean, she had that bread. Now I believe you on Miss Special. Cause I seen a couple content they were saying Nolan mom had already had money. Now I mean, she might not have that judge money. Cause that's a different type of money, not for nothing, respectfully. When you got a stepmom that's a judge and your father is a doctor or some shit, you put that money together, that money kind of different right there. You know what I mean? So but no, I understand what you're saying. They didn't come from the hood. They came from like a nice, middle class home, almost rich. Know what I mean? Allegedly, I don't know. I'm not from down there, so. But when I look at the pictures of the Buddy's parents, I see big ass house. I see a lot of space, big pool. I'm like, oh, these niggas living a different lifestyle. They got the private dock. They got boats, all types of shit. Like, nah, man, it's a little different on their side. And they can party more, and they probably got more freedom. Nah, man. He says daddy family has bank too. Okay. Miss Christine, okay. Nah, they said Nolan mom got that money. Nah, they said she ain't no broke ass woman. Jerome said almost rich. It's hilarious. I ain't know how to say that shit, bro. I was trying to chew. I was like, man, what should I say? Almost rich? Shout out to the homie room. He said that's that privilege money. That's the fact, stuff, and that's that privilege money. Mama love her FNP. She doing fine. Nah, I know. I did my little research. I seen it. He said I was snowing over there too. He said they don't eat bacon, egg, or cheese. They have croissants. He said they eating croissants on that side. They ain't got no bacon, egg, or cheese on that shit. Croissant with butter, nigga. You want some butter in this croissant? You want your croissant a little toasted or not? I'll be like, man, get some. You gotta put an egg and a salt, egg and some bacon on that shit, son. Turkey bacon, son, on that shit. I'm telling you, they had mountains of blood. Nah, you know that. 803, they was getting right up there, man. Come on, man. White boy wasted. Yeah, let me play that Javon mother on video again for the people that just joined. Now, y'all remember Warren did the interview, and Warren said he spoke to Javon mother and well, Javon mother had a rebuttal on that. She said he absolutely lying. He said I spoke to Wyatt the whole time, not Warren. Let me play this clip one more time for the people that just joined her.
Boat had never even been in the water. Wyatt did. I never even really talked to Warren. The whole time I was in the house, I spoke with Wyatt. Wyatt is the one who had the phone that supposedly was in his truck or whoever. But Wyatt is who I talked to. I never talked to Warren. I'm not sure why Warren is doing that. But I turned the camera around directly on Wyatt and told my sister. Outside somewhere. They said it was in the truck. I'm not sure where it was at. It took them at least 15 minutes to bring me the phone. By this time, the boys will start, because Wyatt started getting jazzy at the mouth. So my son, Jalen, was like, hey, you better watch your tone. Like, don't get smart, my mama.
Right.
Because we trying to see what Nolan, because we trying to figure out why y'all see y'all ass up here chilling and Nolan missing. So that's when I asked again, where's the phone? She's gone. That's when he told me she was going to get it. I said, oh, she must have to go back to Horn Island truck outside. Now, mind you, we had to pass all the cars to walk in the house. It's just it's a bunch of lies. I don't feel the need to, like I said, when they go to the mentioning Javon, I'm going to say and stand up behind mine every single time. As far as me and that nudge and shit, I don't feel the need to explain anything to any of y'all.
A lot of praying.
I ain't gonna lie, I would have crashed out. Exactly, Dante. You walk up in there and they just chilling. The on Nolan Black Friends, they was ready to get busy in the building. That's why Javon said we didn't hear that part. That's why I'm breaking this back a little bit because Javon got into Wyatt's face with, oh, well, I don't know what happened, but he told Wyatt, man, calm down. That's my mama. And, you know, they came there with a bunch of a little bit of homies. A couple homies. So they was ready to get busy. And not for nothing, they should have got busy. I ain't gonna hold y'all, because if I come in there and I see Nolan other side of friends sitting here being all calm and my boy missing, oh, nah, we getting busy. Y'all gonna let me know what the hell going on out here. Because remember the Pops said, like, yo, I had to calm down the fellas. Because the fellas, he meant the young fellas. He said they was ready to get busy. They was going to tear that shit down. And I don't know what I mean? I don't know what I mean? I don't do the violence thing and none of that. I don't provoke that shit, whatever. But at the end of the day, man, when you got a friend missing and you come to their side of the town and you see them all calm, nah, hell no, man. Come on, man. Y'all too calm. We out here having a whole panic attack trying to figure out what our friend at and they son at. And y'all just sitting in the house chilling? Come on, that's crazy to me right there, bro.
A lot of just leaning on each other in this moment and just taking it day by day. That's really all we can do right now. It's been hard. You know, every day is different. And really, every second is different, which is something people need to understand. Grief is not one emotion. Major Smith. On
the 4th, you were on a different boat. Do you recall, Javon?
Other than that,
to think that has been that much time having passed. Javon, I want to come to you because, you're his friend. You were on the island on the 4th. You were on a different boat. Do you recall seeing him at all that day?
Yes, ma'am. I did see him when I was out there on the island.
Can you tell me what you saw? Does anything seem strange to you about the difference that people are saying of how he was separated from the group?
No, ma'am. I don't think that Nolan would say, hey, bro, I'm staying with this girl on the island. Y'all go ahead and go back without even bringing it, like not even asking to get his phone back. You know what I mean? I don't think that any of that.
What makes you so sure about that? Because, obviously you've been with him. You've spent a lot of time with him. Did you know him to be someone to leave his phone or even say, you guys go without me?
Never. I've never known Nolan to stay back while his friends leave. He's always been a guy where if he rode with you, he's going to come back with you. That's always how he's been every single time.
You know, this friend of his, Trayston, also told ABC that video people have been talking about that was said to show some sort of altercation, it did not involve Nolan. He says it was actually him yelling in the video and that you and a family member were holding him back because he'd been in a fight. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am. We were calming Trayston down. In that video where he said, give me my effing phone back, it sounds like him. So I'm pretty sure that he was right on that. But
Javon, I'm so sorry to think about what you must be going through and thinking about what's happened to Nolan. You mentioned a phone. Tashima, a huge question so many people have is why he would have left his cell phone behind. And you say you were the person who actually went and retrieved that phone for the family. How'd you get your hands on the phone? Where was it?
That is correct. Christine called me and told me, hey, where are the boys? Nolan hasn't been heard from since such and such time. Where are your boys? I said, well, Javon is with his girlfriend, and I just spoke with Jalen, and they are headed to downtown, which I was literally getting ready to get in the shower to go downtown as well. She said, well, Nolan hasn't been, so I.
Let me ask y'all a question. They was doing the fireworks downtown? Anybody down there in Mississippi? Because most likely when they do 4th of July fireworks, they're usually doing downtown, anywhere you at. So that's when I'm assuming that she was getting dressed because she was heading downtown also to go see the fireworks. All right.
Instantly, where are your boys? I said, well, Javon is with his girlfriend, and I just spoke with Jalen, and they are headed to downtown, which I was literally getting ready to get in the shower to go downtown as well. She said, well, Nolan hasn't been, so I instantly called with Christine on the phone, Javon. Javon said, no, he hadn't seen Nolan since early on the island. He was like, what? Are y'all serious? We was like, yes. And so Christine intervened in the conversation, said, Nolan has not have been heard from since he left the island. So
Let me ask y'all a question on this. Shout out to Jay Good, man. Y'all think Javon know more than what he's telling us? Let me ask y'all that question. Y'all think Javon know more than what he's telling us? All right, man. I already know. Somebody tell me to go see Willie D. All right, man. Pause. I'm gonna go check the homie out. Shout out to the OG Willie D over there, man. Keep spamming in my chat. I'm gonna have to get you up out of here with that, respectfully. I already seen you put that up twice, but y'all think Javon got something to do? Well, I ain't gonna say something to do with it. Do y'all think Javon know more than what the hell he telling us? Because like I told you, a mother as a parent, a father as a parent, we gonna have our kid back no matter what, right or wrong. Even if it's a tragic like this with a best friend, we still gonna have our son back. Even if he know more, we still gonna have our kids back. Because I always wondered that dude Javon know more than what the hell he told us from the last two interviews he had done. You remember his first interview was with TMZ, and then he did the second one here with his mama, his mom. Everybody saying, of course. Somebody said, nah, because he told them to keep his name out of his mouth. He said, if them boys don't get convicted, it's going to be crazy. That's a fact. I think what Javon knows is just he said. According to the lies, Javon came and got his phone from the doc. If so, he would have had asked where Nolan was. Yeah, I think they did mention that. I think they said, I don't know if Javon left his phone there and he came and got that shit. Secret Service said something about a mystery letter. Yeah, I'm gonna go check that out. I don't know. I don't. When they say mystery letter, that shit could be from anybody, gang. I mean, that ain't something to go rush to. But I'm gonna check it out when we done with this live. He said he wasn't with them. Nah, Javon wasn't with them either. I don't think Javon had anything to do with it because even himself in the interview said that something ain't right. Javon dad is Ocean Spring Police Department. Man, get the hell out of here. You lying? You serious? Wow. Yeah, somebody sent a letter. It's a mystery letter going on. That shit could be a troll or some shit like that, or a crazy ass person. Let's finish this off though, because I always wanted to ask y'all that. Do y'all feel Javon don't know more than what the hell he telling us?
So Javon was like, well, that's when I seen it. I haven't seen it since then. Again, everybody goes their separate ways. So I then hang up from Javon because obviously there's nothing he can say to tell me anything. So then Jalen, I call him. Jalen did not answer the phone. Christine again is on the phone. Jalen did not answer the phone. LeBaron, I called. He didn't answer the phone. I called LeBaron, which is their other friend, LeBaron Broomfield. He answered. He said, Jalen is in the gas station. Hold on. So he said, hey, Jalen, Mom on the phone. So he's like, Jalen, like, what's up, Mom? What's going on? I was like, hey, have y'all heard from Nolan? They said no. We have not heard from Nolan.
But where was the phone?
So I was like, well, okay. So that's when we started tracking the phone. Well, for Christine, it said.
I was thinking that too. Maybe he might have told Crump and them and they can't tell the public whatever Javon probably told them. Because they can't give us everything also. It's still an investigation. They're trying to figure out what happened. So maybe Javon know more, but he just can't tell the public and all that.
It's at one place, but for them on Snapchat, it showed another place. So that's the place we went to. And it showed that everybody that was in the house, it was like a lot of people there. Like I'm not familiar with all the kids. I only know like one or two there. But it showed that the phone was at what a lot of people were at. So that's how we knew where to go to. We went there. They were all there. They were sitting there, lights off, watching TV.
Did they immediately give you the phone? Because knowing that
They
phone was
did.
there.
It took about 15. They did. They gave me the phone, but it's
Shout out to Ingrid Norman for the $4.99 super chat. She said, plus she said they were in the dark watching a movie on CNN interview. That's a fact. I remember that. Shout out to you for that $4.99 super chat. I appreciate that. That's why I said when she came in there, they was all laid back. How you gonna be laid back when your buddy when your best friend is missing? Nah, that's too suspicious for me. That's too sus.
but it took about 15 minutes to get the phone because I even asked, I'm like, did y'all have to walk back to Horn Island to get the phone, or like where's the phone? Because it took so long when they said it was when Wyatt told me it was in his truck. It took him so long to get the phone back to me. So when they brought the phone back,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tashima. I want to hear that.
when they brought the phone, after I said something about it, he was like, well, she's going to get it. I was like, who's going to get it? He's like, the girl's going to get the phone.
They always bring a girl up. That's why I said, man, these stories are crazy, man. It's crazy, bro. Now I'm finding out that her sister is a sheriff and all this shit. This shit crazy. Makes no sense. He said they were high and nervous at the same time. That's a fact. I don't know, gang. Hopefully, they say about today, Friday the latest. We should get a little update on the phone situation. We're gonna see what happens. Let me ask y'all a question though. But I've been spent this narrative. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I said if nothing come back to them dudes, they know something, they know of something, or they know the person, or they know the people. Just because nothing don't come back to them doesn't mean that nobody else ain't do nothing to this young man. Pause. Said pay attention. Word wasn't supposed to be there when the phone was given up. Yup, ain't nobody arrested. Yeah, it's crazy. I feel the war's about to be happening in Mississippi behind this case. Damn, big homie says he feel like it's about to be a war down there in Mississippi behind this shit. Shout out to the big homie. Yeah, smash that like button, gang. We got 301 likes. Smash that like button. Somebody said fart all day. I'm trying to tell you, man. It's about to get nasty, bro. It's going to be nasty. I'm telling you. That's why I never pointed fingers exactly on tours. I said, nah, man, I ain't going to just accuse them. I said, but if something did happen, y'all know of it, y'all know somebody, and y'all know exactly what the hell happened. Y'all probably seen it. That's exactly what's going on here, bro. They were scared, man. They're gonna protect their buddy better. I'm trying but they're gonna protect them, they buddy more than Nolan. I always said that. I always said that. It's on the interview, they was laughing and flexing power with Jax is in the room crying for hours. That's what I think Jax was doing. Shout out to Ebony, bro. Because remember when Pop said, yo, Jax came downstairs with his hair all wild like he was sleeping? Man, that nigga probably was underneath the covers crying and shit like that. And everybody else was chilling, but Jax was upstairs. That's a fact. You got a point on that. He might have been crying. That's why his hair was all wild. Probably was in the bed, couldn't take that shit on what just happened. He said a Netflix documentary about to be crazy. Nah, I'm gonna say Hulu gonna get that shit first. Watch Hulu get it first. This shit about to be bonkers, man. Bro, you see the guilt in all their faces. That's a fact. He said, what happened to that? I said they don't make it right, telling everything. He said Jack's the weakest link. Warren protecting his brother. That's why he's a ringleader. Did you hear about Raheem Carter? Yeah, I heard about that case. I was thinking about doing a video. I was gonna bring that up in my live one day. 50 in Texas, he coming. Yeah, Jack's gonna tell like he was in the interview. Don't mean no harm, but Jack's look like he's about to tell. Everybody think Jack's gonna tell. That's crazy. Everybody think because Jax was talking. Jax was comfortable as hell in that interview. He was running his mouth, to be honest. I told you they got comfortable when all three of them sat on that chair. It's an Amazon Prime or whatever. You see, whoever done this, the other is going to be blackmailing his family for their silence somewhere. Someone's going to crack. That's why I say, too, Citizen Morgan. I said the same thing. Somebody going to crack soon. Said Javon not part of the real clique. Shout out to Ingrid Norman. She said Javon not part of the real clique. Nah, he's definitely not. Shout out to you for that $1.99 super chat. Appreciate that. He said one had been suicide watch, now again quiet. One kept cutting everybody off from talking. Yeah, man, it's nasty work though. But we about to get up out of here again. We've been here about 2 hours, 10 minutes. I ain't doing no 3-4 hours tonight. Now we ain't doing that. That shit be dragging. My eyes be tired. I'll be over here loopy like, nah, I'm going to sleep, nigga. Going to sleep, nigga. He said in the interview, Jack said he went to the room and broke down, lost it a couple of hours before the crew pulled up, losing it. For what? That's a fact, Village. That's a fact. How you losing it in there, but you ain't out there looking for him? Make it make sense, Village, right? You up there crying, nigga. Go look for him. That's what you need to do. Go try to find any little information right away. You don't go upstairs and start crying. You must know something. Hello. Like, come on, man. Shout out to the big homie for the super chat, man, for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that. Come on, man. You must know something. That's why you went upstairs, started crying and all this. Came downstairs, your hair looking crazy. Pop said looking like you just woke up. Yeah, that part. You went up there crying because you know something, allegedly. And everything I said in this video is basically alleged. We're trying to figure out like everybody else trying to figure it out. It's my opinion, you know what I mean? So, alleged. But you ain't got no reason up there crying. For what? Go out there and try to find some information on what the hell happened on your buddy. Oh, pardon me, your friend. It's crazy. I see person died, but it's a hell when I unalive someone. Let's get up out of here, though, gang, man. I appreciate everybody that pulled up tonight. We'll be back on tomorrow. Shout out to Citizen Morgan for the $10 super chat right before I got all. Thanks for keeping the narrative alive. Let's get justice for Nolan in our community. You already know. Appreciate that. Once again, appreciate that $10 super chat. You already know. That's why we doing this. We trying to find out the truth like everybody else trying to find the truth out. Shit is crazy, yo. But I'm up out of here, man. Smash that like button, support the channel, man. Get your membership, man. Till then, we be back on tomorrow, man. Stay safe out there, man. Hopefully, we get some breaking news tomorrow about the phone. We'll see what happened. But shout out to everybody that pulled up. Shout out to all my new subscribers. And go check my other video, too. I also did earlier about the BMF J-Bo. That shit is crazy. Go check that out. But I'm up out of here, man. It's your boy Smoke News TV. If they know, they know. Salute, gang. I'm out of here. Love and peace. I already know the vibes. Rest in peace to Nolan Wells.
Yeah. This is Smoke News TV. We back in the building. Let's get to it. Smoke News TV, where the truth gets revealed. Every headline getting peeled, every rumor getting grilled. Hip hop industry drama, every deal. If it's making noise, then you know I'm in the field. Smoke News TV. I sit back and wait on it. Cause the truth always rises when the smoke starts clearing. Smoke News TV. We back in the building. Breaking down the latest. Every story got layers. Everybody got opinions. I'ma do the homework first. Looking past the captions, digging deeper than the surface. Cause every viral headline don't determine what the truth is. Beef, contracts, albums, interviews. Who's making power moves? Who's just chasing views? Some call it gossip. I call it research. Connecting every dot before I give my first words. If it's solid, I'ma say it. If it's weak, I'ma call it. If I catch somebody moving funny, that's nasty work. Close Smoke News TV. We back in the building. Smoke News TV. We back in the. No bias over here. I just call what I see. Whether legends or the rookies, everybody gets reviewed. Culture over clout. That's the code I live by. Every episode. episode, another conversation amplified. So yo, if you're rocking with the movement, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel and hype your boy up. Every time the smoke rises, you already know where to pull up. Smoke News TV, TV. We back in the building.